Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Yhug, coming at you guys with a brand new video, and I wanted to talk about something that I feel like a lot of people could relate to, at least in my age bracket of, barely starting their 20s, and that's like sort of feeling lost, not really knowing your purpose. Um, as I entered my 20s last year in December, and it sort of hit me. I was like, damn, I'm 20. Like, I'm an adult now. Like, I'm a for real adult. I mean, technically not till 21 because you can't do many things till 21. But it's like, 20 is 2 years removed from 18, and you're not in high school anymore. So it's kind of like, dang, like I am an adult now, right? And I sort of started looking at my life and was like, am I sure like of what I want to be doing? And I started realizing like I don't really think like I know my purpose in life, and I was sort of getting a little bit scared, right? I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. Like, you want to know what you're supposed to be doing, and you're unsure of if what you want to do or what you are currently doing is even what you're supposed to be doing. So you kind of just sit there like, dang. Like, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it kept me up late at night. And yeah, because it's like I don't know, for me personally, I get scared of the future, like thinking about what's gonna come next. And mainly because it's like I don't know what my profession should be yet. Like, yeah, I was going to school for business, but I was like, is this really what I want to do? Like, is this what I want? And and YouTube, as much as I love it, I'm like, but is this the profession for me? Because anybody can make YouTube videos, but to actually become a full-time YouTuber and streamer, it's like I feel like it's only like a rare amount of people that really get to do it, or like a specific amount of people that get to do it. I'm not gonna say rare because there's a bunch of YouTubers, right? But what I mean is, it almost feels like a couple lucky few get chosen. You know what I mean? To like actually become one full time. And I've sort of felt like I've had my moments where I feel like I'm gonna do it, and then there are times where I upload videos and they don't get that many views, and I'm like, dang, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I'm 20 and I feel like my life's gonna end, because I'm 20 and I don't have like a real profession yet. And then I was sort of thinking like, so is YouTube really for me? Like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be going to school, or am I just supposed to go get a regular job? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? And it gets scary, man, like thinking about the future. Like, what am I supposed to do? Because I can't just live with my parents forever, bruh. Like, at some point I gotta move out and become my own man. And it's like, it's sort of the stresses of life sort of hit you and they scare you, man. And in that, you also try to, I don't know about you guys, but to deal with it, I try to tell myself like, nah, like can't be thinking like that, gotta be better. But one thing I feel like everyone has to remember, and it's important to remember, is it's okay to not be okay, right? Now, I'm not saying I was dealing with depression or anything, but I would like the feeling of anxiety. It's okay to go through that, right? It's okay to go through, like, to deal with these emotions, right? Because I mean, I know for a lot of men out there, we're told to bottle up our emotions, or we're not supposed to feel a certain way, right? But it's okay to feel these ways, man. And it's also okay to not know what you're supposed to do next. I took my problems and I spoke to my dad because he went through a similar thing as me in his 20s. And he told me like, you're 20 years old. Like, you're still really young. Like, he's like, I don't think anyone expects you to know what you want to do in life. He's like, if you do, great. He's like, but trust me, you're not the only one feeling this way. He's like, there are people that are probably stuck in their jobs who are like, is this really what I want for the rest of my life? The same way I'm sitting here looking at myself like, is this what I want for the rest of my life? So it's not just something one single person is feeling. Now, one thing too that he also told me is like, to say that you're tired of your days feeling the same is completely normal, because even people, again, who have normal jobs and all that now, like right now in this moment, are probably feeling that exact same way. And I sort of thought about that, and I was like, dang, it's true. Like, when you're stuck somewhere that you personally feel like you don't want to be in, of course it's gonna feel tiring to you, because it's like, dang, like, this is boring, this sucks. But in that, I've sort of come to like realize at the same time, like, I feel like the only way your days can feel better is if you have a good daily routine. I mean, one thing I've noticed is sometimes my daily routine will consist of doom scrolling for like an hour, and obviously those things are gonna make you like feel sad or bored, and that's like I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain it. That's sort of like feeding ideas into your mind, like like thought ideas that aren't your own, and content that's already to a set mood. That's obviously gonna ruin your current mood, right? And I sort of realized, like, in a way, you gotta change that, man. Like, you gotta do stuff in your daily routine that's gonna make you feel better. And I know it's hard because, like, the one thing I always felt was like, oh, I didn't have a lot of time. But in that hour that I would doom scroll, I could have just been doing something else, like watching content that I like to watch, or reading books that I like to read, or getting into my Bible, just stuff like that, like just simple stuff like that, right? And I've also sort of realized, like, the whole worrying thing, for me at least, right? You know, I know this is probably where the message might get a little confusing, but for Christians, we sort of have our easy fix to that solution, and it's God, right? In Matthew 6:25, Jesus says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or stow away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life?" So I've always seen that as, like, by worrying, you're just wasting time. You're wasting more time, right? And Jesus in this is talking about really important stuff, right? Like what you're gonna eat, what you're gonna wear tomorrow, where you're gonna get your clothes from, all that stuff. And I know my atheist viewers, if you're still watching, thank you. But or you believe in a different religion or stuff like that. The best way, the reason why I still think this is important for everyone to listen to is because this is some solid life advice. Like, you could remove it from the Bible and tell that to someone, and I feel like you could learn something from it, because in reality, like, even I had to really sit there and think about it, like, what good is worrying gonna do me? And it's literally like he says in Matthew 34, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Instead of trying to plan for the future or plan ahead of worry and have such a tight grip on your life, sometimes you just gotta live through the motions, and you gotta enjoy each day one at a time, and as it comes, like, as it comes to you, right? And I've sort of noticed that too. Now, are there times where I still go and think about the future? Of course, but I've sort of learned to just trust God, that He's got me, and for the rest of my days. Now, I know for atheists it's a little different, because for non-religious people it's a little different, because they may not believe in God, or they believe in their own God or whatever, and I will say, though, still the core message of not worrying about tomorrow and just focusing on today, like, don't worry about stuff that you're gonna go through tomorrow, worry about stuff that you went through today, is the most important thing ever, because it's it's such a stress relieving thing. Like, it takes away so much stress, and you're able to enjoy the fruits of life a lot better, you know that is, if you are living a fruitful life where you're happy and you're doing good things and all that. Of course, even if you're not, if you're living a stressful life, still worrying about tomorrow isn't gonna make your life any less stressful. Like, let's just be honest. So that's where I'll keep the religious talk, for this video. It wasn't meant to be a religious video, but I mean, I still spoke about it. But yeah, man, I mean, I think it's just, as scary as life is, I think we just got to remember that that's just how it is, but we got to take it one step at a time, and that's how I've been approaching this feeling of feeling lost and unsure and worried, and and I've known for a while that, like I said, my true passion is YouTube. Whether it's my purpose or not, I do not know, but like I said before, I just trust God. And one thing I will say, though, if you are relating to this feeling of feeling lost and stuck and a little tired because life may seem boring or something, just invest in yourself. Honestly, invest in yourself. That's the first thing you got to do. Make yourself right. Make sure you're right. You're right with yourself. You're right with God, if you're in the faith. or you're right, or you're just right in the head, you know. And that starts with removing bad habits, creating a good routine for yourself. You feel me? Doing things that make you happy. And the main thing that I feel like, you know, I recently learned that is 100% true is reconnecting with your inner child. You know, as we go through life, we're sort of removed from the way we used to be as a child. And even the Bible, you know, I said I wasn't going to, but I have to, because this book is just real, bro. But anyways, like this God is, oh man, but look, he's wise, because the Bible even says that children are the greatest in heaven, right? And it sort of tells us to be like children. Let me make sure I'm right, real quick. Yeah, here it is in Matthew 18:3. It says, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." Now, of course, Jesus meant it in the sense of being obedient to God, right? Our parents. But I also see that as when you're a child, everything just is so much better. And I know it's like some people may look at this and be like, well, that's dumb. Why would I return to that innocence or whatever? Because when you're that innocent, you feel like you could do anything and you don't worry about a dang thing. Like, let's be real. Besides, if the monsters under your bed are going to snatch you at night. That's our greatest fear as a child. Like, let's be for real here. Our greatest fear as adults is like bills or something. So, you know, anyways, my point is reconnecting with that inner child and healing that inner child is the most important thing you can do. I feel like in terms of just getting through being sad in life. But yeah, that's where I wanted to end this video, you know. So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling unsure of the future, worried about the future, scared, or like your life is just boring, don't worry, because I've been there too. Many others have been there as well. And I know you can get through it. It may seem scary, and it is, but I know you can get through it. And it's okay to not know, like I said, what you're supposed to be doing. And while it is definitely tricky, I guess that would be the best word I could use. While it is definitely tricky to find your purpose in life, don't try to rush it, especially if you're still really young. And even if you're younger than me, because look, I'm 20 and I'm still trying to figure it out. And if you're like 18 or something, 16, whatever age it may be, watching this video, even if you're older, don't even worry about it, because that's just how life is. You know, my word of advice, like I said, just try to make a new schedule in your day, a daily routine that'll make you feel better, right? Make you sort of change what you're taking in and what's changing your mind. Get right with yourself, invest in yourself, get right with God if you are in the faith or in a faith. And like I said, reconnect and heal that inner child, man, because that's I think the biggest thing. All right, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you guys could get something from this. Love you guys, praying for you guys. Peace be with you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.